At age 40, two households can both be worth $250,000. Then an unexpected $8,000 repair arrives. One household pays the bill and still has about $47,000 in cash. The other is left with just $2,000 and still owes $10,000 on a credit card. Same age, same net worth, completely different financial lives. So is $250,000 really the number you should have by 40? Not exactly, because your total can make you feel behind or safe for completely the wrong reasons. The official benchmark can show where your number lands, but to know what it actually means, you have to look at what the number is made of, how much of it you can reach, and which weak spot could push you into your next bad financial decision. Start with the basic math. Net worth is what your household owns minus what it owes. Here, a household means one person or people who share finances. As of July 2026, the latest survey of consumer finances has been published by the Federal Reserve. Among families whose reference person was age 35 to 44, median net worth was $135,600. Mean net worth was $549,600. That gap matters. Wealthy families pull up the mean. The median marks the middle household, making it the more useful checkpoint. That means $250,000 is not an official pass line for age 40. It sits above the age band median and below the mean. A household at $200,000 has not automatically failed. A household at $300,000 is not automatically safe. Treat the number as a checkpoint, not a grade. Picture yourself at the kitchen table a few months from 40. Your spreadsheet says the household has roughly $250,000 in net worth, but your checking account says one bad month could still hurt. Your next raise may add about $500 a month. The car is getting older. Friends are moving into larger homes. Part of you wants to use the raise to look more established. Another part wants to know whether you are already behind. The benchmark shows where your number lands. It does not tell you what that number means for your life. But the headline number still cannot answer the bigger question. Which $250,000 household are you closer to? And what inside your total could push you into a bad decision? Net worth can include cash, retirement accounts, investments, vehicles, home equity, and business equity. Then you subtract mortgages, car loans, student loans, credit card balances, and other debts. The total is real, but the pieces do different jobs. $10,000 in cash can cover a repair this week. $10,000 of home equity is real wealth too, but getting to it may require selling, borrowing, paying fees, or waiting. Retirement money is meant for later, not next month's bills. Expected Social Security benefits and future pension payments are not counted as current assets in this Federal Reserve measure. So net worth is not the same as cash, and it is not a complete retirement readiness score. Now ignore house size for a moment. Watch three things: accessible cash, expensive debt, and how much wealth is tied up. Household A owns a $500,000 home with a $325,000 mortgage, leaving $175,000 in home equity. It has $60,000 in retirement accounts, $10,000 in cash, and a car worth $15,000 more than the remaining auto loan. Then subtract a $10,000 credit card balance. Total net worth, $250,000. From the street, household A may look safer. The larger home is visible. The thin cash cushion and card balance are not. A neighbor sees the house. The household feels the mortgage, the card minimum, and the worry that a repair could wipe out most of its available cash. Household B also has $250,000. Its total includes $85,000 in home equity, $140,000 in retirement accounts, $55,000 in cash, and $10,000 in investments outside retirement accounts. Its car is worth about what it owes, so it adds nothing to net worth. It still has a $40,000 student loan. Same total, very different pressure. Household B does not look dramatically richer. Its advantage: more money is available when something goes wrong, without selling the house, taking on new debt, or pulling from an account meant for later. These are fictional examples, not recommended allocations. Real households differ, but the arithmetic makes one point clear. Now we can see why the $8,000 repair at the beginning created two completely different outcomes. Household A would be left with only $2,000 in cash, while the $10,000 card balance remains. Household B would still have about $47,000 in cash. The difference is not only the balance left over. Household A may have to borrow again or spend months rebuilding. Household B can absorb the repair and keep making normal decisions. Financial Room lets you solve one problem without creating the next. That does not make home equity band or household B better in every way. It shows that the more impressive-looking household can have less room when an ordinary financial hit arrives. The benchmark shows level. The comparison shows composition. One question remains: are things moving in the right direction? First, level. Calculate the correct household total, then compare it with a source using the same unit. Do not compare one person with household data and call the result precise. Being below the median does not make you a failure. Being above it does not prove you are safe. Level tells you where you stand today. Second, composition. Ask what the total is made of. How much is accessible this month? How much is built for long-term growth? How much is tied up in property or a business? Which debts keep charging interest or locking up monthly income? Composition tells you what the number can actually do when life changes. A number without context can make you feel behind or safe for the wrong reasons. Third, direction. Is the weak part improving? Is costly debt falling? Is cash growing? Are long-term contributions becoming consistent? Is a large required payment shrinking, or is a monthly pressure getting worse? Direction tells you whether the weak spot is improving or getting worse. This is not an official Federal Reserve scoring system. It is an educational way to turn an official benchmark into a practical decision. Instead of asking, did I pass by 40? Ask, which part of my balance sheet is most likely to push me into a bad financial decision? That answer is your bottleneck. If high-interest card debt is the weak point, one reasonable direction may be paying down the costly balance while keeping enough cash to avoid borrowing again right away. If cash is thin or your monthly budget has no room, the direction may be building a reachable reserve and widening the gap between income and required bills. No single dollar target fits every household. If long-term savings are the weak spot, it may be worth checking the retirement plan available through work, including any employer match, when available and feasible. If most of your wealth is tied up in a home or business, the next goal may be building cash, long-term savings, or monthly flexibility instead of putting even more into the same asset. Now return to the person at the kitchen table. Their balance sheet looks more like household A, solid home equity, some retirement savings, little cash, and a card balance. The new $500 a month could disappear into a nicer car payment and leave the balance sheet looking almost the same. Instead, they choose one measurable direction for the next year. Make the card balance fall every month while keeping a workable cash cushion. The visible lifestyle change is small. The practical change is not. A lower card balance means less interest pressure, and keeping that cushion makes the next repair less likely to restart the same debt. That choice is not right for everyone. It works in this example because it addresses the part most likely to force the next bad decision. Your number at 40 is not a grade on the life you have lived. It is a snapshot. What matters now is the direction you move next. Calculate the total. Look at level, composition, and direction. Circle the weakest part, then set one measurable goal for the next 12 to 36 months. The goal is not just to build a bigger number. It is to build a number that gives you room. If this helped you see the number more clearly, subscribe for more calm, practical money explanations. Everything here is for education and entertainment only, not financial advice.